Okay, Scott. Hey, we're live.
We are
Uh,
live.
I suggested talking about time because I watched a movie last night. Find out if you've seen it too. The first, well, I
Back to
watched
the
both
Future.
of
I've
them.
seen it. Oh,
There you go. Ocean's 11, both of them. Have you seen the old one and the new one?
seen the old one. Haven't seen the new one.
Oh, you haven't seen the George Clooney one, huh?
Nope. Nope.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah, well, that was my situation before I watched. I rewatched both of them, or rewatched the old one,
Yeah.
and that was interesting because it is just a essay in how to just goof off and make a movie, because
Yeah.
it was just absolutely nothing. The heist was so
Flimsy.
casually entered into. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
it was flimsy and all that,
Hey, we're a
and
bunch of army buddies. Let's knock
mhm.
off a casino.
So they had.
The great thing about the original, I don't know if you knew this. You probably read this in trivia. Was Vegas actually agreed to turn off the lights on the strip for their movie?
Wow, that's for something else.
Yeah. I mean that shows you the power of the Rat Pack at the time, man.
Yeah, yeah, at the time, yeah. I was reading about the big fallout that apparently Peter Lawford was kicked out of the Rat Pack by Sinatra himself because it seems so funny uh, that he wanted President
Oh,
Kennedy to
yeah.
visit him, and he had a heliport built and everything. A helipad.
Yeah, yeah, help at
Had,
like
had
yeah
you
for a
had you heard
helicopter.
have you heard this before?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And he
Okay.
blamed Lawford because Lawford was like his brother-in-law or uncle or something like that.
Well, yeah, the guy that kept it from happening, of course, was RFK,
Oh
and
yeah, because
because
he didn't want it. Yeah, because
he
Sinatra was associated with the mob.
yeah, yeah, he didn't want any of the onus of it on his brother, and he
Yeah,
just told him that. And Lawford is stuck with it because he's supposed to pull all the strings. He's the go-between.
yeah. But he's
And
but he's he was related to Kennedy somehow, wasn't he?
he was married to one of the sisters or something like that. Yeah.
Oh,
But I thought that was funny after watching the movie where they're still great pals and all that, just doing nothing together.
yeah.
But then you
Yeah.
watch the next one and it's pretty interesting. It's pretty good. But I was struck. I mean, I was almost thunderstruck when I realized I thought it was, my brain works as, well, this is the new one. But then I see the copyright date at the end of it and I say, my God, that was a quarter century ago.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say it was around 2000, wasn't it?
Yeah, 2001. And of
Yeah.
course, it's like months after 9/11. And then that made me think we're coming up because, I said that quarter century, it's going to be a quarter century commemoration of 9/11
Oh God, I didn't even think
in,
about
in,
that.
in New York City with a Muslim communist as the mayor. Can
Oh
you
wow.
believe that?
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna tell you, and I've said this, because I think the one of the things that happened after 9/11 was there were all these stories about they're harassing Muslims, and I don't know how true that was. I really don't, but I think
Mm,
some people got a lot of mileage out of that story.
yeah.
There and there may and don't get me wrong. I mean, I'm sure there was some, but I think you know and what's funny is after 9/11 people were very commemorative of it and all this stuff, and man, I mean, now it's almost like, oh, you can't talk about it you know
Yeah, yeah. It's like, hey, yeah, don't, this causes social discomfort to talk about that.
yeah,
So
exactly.
anyway, yeah, so that made me think of the time. But anyway, I recommend you catch up with this Clooney one because the heist is just slightly more elaborate, and I bet you the run times are almost identical. The first one is maybe goes too long, but isn't too bad, uh, to withstand. It's not a super long movie. And the second one is surprised me. I would expect, this big star packed extravaganza to go over long like everything does these days.
Oh yeah.
It was like came in at like an hour and 45 minutes or something like that.
Amazingly, believe it or not, I kind of like George Clooney. I don't know why.
Oh, I do too. You know,
I don't like him as bad. I mean, obviously politically,
his political stuff, you know,
but
but his
I don't
yeah,
care about that too
he's
much. There's a few,
charismatic. It just comes through. It just comes through.
yeah.
I liked him in all his Coen brothers stuff. I guess he's made about three or four with them. And uh, what do you call it? The lawyer term for intolerable cruelty or something like that. When it comes up in a divorce. Anyway, cruelty. And then there's, of course, Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? And then there's
My
Hail Caesar.
I like Michael Clayton.
Hmm.
Have that where he plays a lawyer. I like they go, who's this Michael Clayton guy? You know, the law firm is like being bought out or something like that. They're like, who's this Michael Clayton guy? We don't have any bill. He has no billing on the books. And they go, well, you know, he's just a guy that makes everything go better. You know,
Yeah, yeah.
I kind of like that. I like Up in the Air. If you've ever seen that,
That's the one where he has to stay in perpetual.
yes, emotion basically has he
Yeah,
constantly,
he's the Axe Man or something, right?
yeah,
He fires
he
people.
he works for a company that companies hire to lay people off when they have
Hmm.
mass layoffs,
Hmm.
and he's the guy that they send, and all he does is travel. And his whole goal is to get like the, I don't know, some airline black card or something. If he gets
Uh-huh.
so many miles, and I think he can fly anywhere for free if he does that or something like that. And his life is upset when they decide they're going to outsource, not outsource it, they're going to do it through Zoom.
Ha ha
And they
ha.
do one and it goes bad. And he says, and there's a kind of a girl, it's like a tech. It may be the girl that played Catwoman. I couldn't swear to that. Anyway, uh, no, I don't think that's right. But anyway, whoever it is, she, he says, you've never fired anyone in person, have you? Like, no. So he kind of complains to his boss and says, this is why she doesn't understand it because she's never had to do it. And so she goes with him on the road, and they go to the airport, and you know he's one of these guys that's got his baggage and it's all carry on,
Yeah, oh
and
yeah,
you know
he's
he's pared down, and
uh-huh.
shows up, she got a neck pillow and a pillow and all this stuff, and he's like, you gotta get rid of all this crap. And
Hmm.
she's like, well, I'm going to check this bag. And he's like, no, 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 don't check bags. And she's like, what are you talking about? And he goes, if you check bags, on average, it takes 15 minutes to get your bag. If you travel, you know, 52 times a
X
year,
amount, right? Yeah, X
right?
amount.
Yeah, he's got all the math worked out of why you don't want
Hmm.
to do that. But I think he doesn't have an apartment even, or he does. I think you know what's funny is I think they're out of Omaha, Nebraska. Where their company's based out of,
Well,
which is
this is
funny because
weird. I have so much of a gist of this film, but I'm certain I haven't actually seen it. I feel like I must have brushed up against it, started it or something, and then didn't watch it, all of it.
oh
You know,
yeah.
I must have got all the gist of it, but I don't remember the movie actually.
Yeah, and at one point he meets a woman who works for some company and she travels about like he does. And they kind of coordinate their schedules. And so at one point he like surprise shows up to her house and like her husband answers the door and he's like, you know, cuz he had no clue she was married.
He's got the weirdest, almost semi-cameo level role in The Thin Red Line. Have you ever seen that movie?
Uh-uh.
So, you know, it's a war movie. And all of a sudden, you got this star power of George Clooney showing up at the end where he's taking over Nick Nolte's job. Nick Nolte's done all the hard work and ordered all the men that had to go out and get killed and do that stuff to take the island. And then it's
Then he shows up.
then it's George Clooney's turn to take over. Yeah.
Oh yeah. You know, the movie that I really wanted to like was Hell Caesar, but I really couldn't get into it. I don't know why.
Yeah, I think a lot of people may bounce off of that one. I don't know. You know, it would hurt you if you came into it wanting the Josh Brolin you saw in No Country for Old Men. That would be one thing they
I
would.
didn't come in with anything like that. I
No,
just
no preconceptions or anything like that about it.
no,
Yeah.
I just knew it was about Hollywood and about and I thought, well, that sounds kind of interesting. And then
Hmm.
I forget why. I think I saw a library copy.
Hmm.
Maybe I need to watch it again.
Oh, I think it kind of grows on you. It's got it's got that guy that's lost so much weight. What's his name? The guy that was in Superbad. Uh,
Who's that guy?
I forget his
I
name.
know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah,
He's lost a
probably
lot of.
everybody does.
He was in Moneyball.
Yes, he was the big mathematical guy in Moneyball.
Yeah,
He explained it exactly to Brad Pitt. Speaking of Ocean's 11, yeah,
yeah,
he told him how it works.
yep. I liked Moneyball.
Oh
I
yeah,
think I've got that actually.
I think that. Can you see that not appealing? Even somebody that doesn't like sports, see that not appealing to any guy having all that explanation laid out for.
Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah,
I have the book. The book is crazy because the book the book tells about several. And I don't like baseball. I could care less about
yeah,
baseball.
not me either. But I love that movie for the fact that it laid out, rules of the game, kind of how things
Yeah.
work and all
Oh,
that.
and the book is full of that kind of stuff
Hmm.
because what the book does is that they did that on that team. Was that the A's? That wasn't the A's. Whatever team that was,
Yeah.
they they showed them implementing this metrics for discovering baseball talent that was
Uh-huh.
different than traditional ones. It kind of upset the rules, and it was
Yeah.
based on this thing called Statomatic, I think it was, and it was a book that this guy wrote every year where he collected all these baseball stats. Did it for years, put it out. I forget the guy's name, and several clubs adopted something similar, and they kind of picked one and kind of fictionalized it, but the book is full of it, and it talks about it's more about that system than the movie. The movie's kind of
Uh,
about that club.
uh-huh.
The book, it's a library. In fact, it's a audio. The library has an audio book of it. It's called
Oh,
Moneyball.
I may have to
You
listen to
might
that.
you might like something. James is the guy that writes the Statomatic book. It's weirdly interesting, and I could care
Oh, I
less
bet it
about
is.
baseball.
Yeah, me too.
I've tried to watch baseball. I cannot get into baseball. I
Mm, no.
When I delivered auto parts, when I was in college, I delivered auto parts, and I would drive around, and this was back in the 80s, and believe it or not, to our younger listeners, a lot of pickup trucks you got and there were cars, but mostly pickups, you would get an AM radio only, which is
Hmm.
crazy. Michelle's car doesn't have an AM radio, which would drive me
Hmm.
crazy. Um, but you got an AM radio only, and there was a few, and this was pre Rush Limbaugh. Was Rush Limbaugh kind of revitalized AM radio?
Hmm.
Whatever you think about him, a
Hmm.
lot of stuff on AM radio came about because Rush
Of
was
Limbaugh.
popular. Yeah, Limbaugh was popular, and it kind of proved like there was, still some life in the format.
Hmm.
But at the time, there was nothing. Well, there was a sports station here in Oklahoma City, and they played Cubs games of all things. And so in the summer, I'd listen to Cubs games when I delivered auto parts, and I really got into it. Not that I was ever a big Cubs fan, but I got into it because you could go to a body shop, stop the truck, be a guy on first, and
Yeah. Come
whatever.
back.
You come back and nothing had changed. Maybe
Nothing
he was
had
on second.
changed. Same
It was
same
like this is
score, everything.
it.
Yeah.
Baseball is made for radio.
Yeah.
That's the long and the short of my analysis of baseball. Baseball is made for radio. I work with a guy, and he loves baseball, and
Hmm.
I know people that watch a lot of baseball. They'll get you can get the app. I thought about getting the app one time because I wanted to listen to it. Because you can't really now, you can't unless you listen to the local team. You can't really listen to baseball here.
My only love comes from the vicarious love my dad had of it. one of my earliest memories is my dad just laughing at the one of the color guys was named Dizzy Dean, was a player himself at one time, got the nickname Dizzy. I don't know how. May have been. I think it involved his pitching ability, and he would every now and then blurt out the fact that he was from Little Texas. Now you can't be from a more obscure little part of of Arkansas than Little Texas, Arkansas.
Oh gosh.
And my dad loved that because Dad was from Little Texas,
Oh,
and
was
yeah,
him
it's
and him and Dizzy Dean.
yeah,
So when our friend in New York, she was dating a guy for several years, and he was a big baseball fan, and he played, probably still does, played in Central Park. It was really softball, but they had a softball league. But he loved baseball. He was always talking about it. You know,
baseball. I played softball a little bit, and that game is terrifying. You got that little missile coming at you, and you got to handle it. And even a softball can really be whizzing. I don't think I could have
yeah,
handled hardball. You gotta have your uh,
wits about
mm,
you.
your muscle memory's got to just take over. You can't be thinking about anything.
Oh
When
yeah,
when you're doing that stuff.
that's probably why I was never a big sports guy, because I was always so distracted. I played
Hmm.
soccer as a kid, and I just was,
Hmm.
I was the typical kid who's like looking around, going, "What? Where we going? What's going on?
Yeah, yeah,
Are
yeah.
we gonna eat
Exactly.
pizza?
Your
Are we
mind
going
is a
for
little too
pizza?"
active for the game. Yeah.
Oh gosh,
Get
yeah,
your
I
head
didn't.
in it.
Head in what? I'm thinking about comic books.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Get your head in it, Sackett.
And I'm sitting there going, I wonder if my latest copy of X-Men came in the mail.
Yeah, yeah. Head in the game.
No, no.
My dad, speaking of my dad again, he always had this theory that the best drivers were idiots because they didn't think about anything else but the driving.
That's a funny theory. I don't know if
Yeah,
I agree with that, because I see a lot of idiots that are terrible.
yeah.
The problem is now all the idiots are on their phone.
Yeah. Well, yeah, they have to keep their mind or what
Yeah.
mind they've got busy, I guess, while they're doing something
Well,
as
yeah,
unimportant as
God,
driving.
dude, I see people every day looking at the phone. They'll go down the highway. I mean,
Yep.
God, the other day I was driving home, and it's like, why is the traffic so bad?
I guess it's
And I
people that
realized,
haven't had their first wreck because I know how a wreck happens. It happens in a split second.
yeah, it happens. You don't watch that damn road, man.
Yep. Yep.
Uh, but I was going down the road, up the Broadway extension, and it was like, why is it going so slow? And I kind of weave my way through traffic, and finally I pass somebody, and in front of them there's nobody,
Hmm.
and they're going, and typically they're on their phone. These people were not on their phone. There's this lady, and she's going to the Broadway extension, and she's got a donut spare, and it's flat. So she's
Oh
on a
boy.
flat donut, and obviously she knows it, but she's going like 35 on the highway. And I'm like, pull off in Oklahoma City, there is almost no place that you can't pull off and get someplace else. You don't need to
Hmm.
go, there's no place you have to go on the highway.
Yeah. Yep.
It's not like some
Yeah,
cities where
we're
it's
laid
like,
out in a flat
we're a
grid.
grid,
Yeah. Yeah.
you can get anywhere. But no, she was bound and determined. I watched her drive past two exits, bound and determined to stay on that highway,
Hmm.
and with everything that entailed, which is driving
Yep.
me nuts.
Yeah. But this 240, I thought I could celebrate the other day. The 240, going down the what is it,
Yeah.
44 headed toward Lawton. Is
Oh
it
yeah.
44? I think it is.
Yeah, that's 44. It kind of turns. If
Hmm.
you go south, it goes a lot, and if you go north, it ends up going towards Tulsa, I believe. Or
But
it goes up past like Penn Square. Yeah.
yeah. But anyway, yeah, it's we just got done with all the routing of road work going, what would it be south? Yeah, it'd be headed south. Yeah. Anyway, headed toward Texas, and now now they've said, okay, now we can do our work going north.
Oh gosh.
So now it's like that's all balled up.
No, yeah, it's yes. I think I went that way the other day, and I was like, this is terrible.
Yeah. Changing it into one lane to do something or other.
Well, you know what I always say? Anytime I'm on the highway and ODOT is doing anything, I go, terrible. You know what I always say? I always say, hadn't been the same since Scott Cosby passed away, because that's where he worked.
Yeah. I was just thinking about Masons today because I've got a lineage of Masons. I've got that aunt that drives me a little bit crazy. She's a Mason, and their Masonic lodge is called the Eastern Star. And she gets, obviously she gets a lot of mileage out of that. But I just thought to myself, one way to guarantee a lot of people coming to your funeral
Yeah.
is to be a Mason. Because remember old Scott's funeral?
Yeah.
He had a lot of people at that thing.
With Masons.
And you've seen The Man Who Would Be King, haven't you?
Yes, yeah.
With Connery
on DVD. Yeah, about the guys that want to set up their own.
Their own
fiefdom, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, which apparently occurred a few times. You could show up with some guys and say we're in charge now. Back in the day, and
I think we did that in Venezuela.
Yeah, we may have. Yeah.
Maybe we'll do it in Minnesota. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, that Minnesota situation is really cooking. I saw some poor dummy lost an eye, deciding that
I saw that dude.
They'd shove people around and took a shot to the eye that said, "Okay, bye eye."
Here's what people don't realize. I was telling somebody at work this. Excuse me. Well, I don't know about all of them, but what's typically when they talk about what they call them, non-lethal projectile or non-lethal bullet or whatever. Do you know what they are?
It's like a paintball.
No.
Gun.
No.
What?
No.
What?
No, not at all. It's like a 12 gauge shotgun, but instead of shooting bullets or pellets or a slug, it shoots a slug of rubber. It's solid rubber. It's considered non-lethal because it won't penetrate your skin. But yeah, if it hits you in the eye or hits you,
Oh yeah, they've had a lot of.
But I mean, it's a 12 gauge shotgun. With all of the force that comes out of that, you don't get hit with that. Excuse me, I remember, even if it's non-lethal. Do what?
There's a Steve McQueen movie where he played a dog the bounty hunter kind of guy.
Oh yeah. What's the name of that?
What is that called? Anyway, he has
He
a
shot
scene
that one
where
guy in the chest with it. Yeah.
Yeah, they did it. They showed it in slow motion, and I figure that guy actually agreed to take one of the shots because it sure looks real.
That was a beanbag gun.
Yeah, beanbag round.
Yeah. I don't think that's what. Golly, I got the hiccups. I don't think that's what that guy in Minnesota was shot with.
No, I don't either.
Most of them, because I was looking online at shotgun shells, and you could actually I could buy non-lethal projectiles for my 12 gauge. I will not.
No. Unless you just got some sort of weird hair where you wanted to see what it was like,
Yeah, they're kind of expensive. They're more expensive than regular shells.
Yeah.
They make a shotgun shell that shoots, instead of shooting buckshot or pellet or whatever, it shoots little rubber ducks.
Huh.
I don't know why.
Well, there's a channel devoted to characters that make custom slugs. that shoot all kinds of little, like wind
Oh,
tunnel
really?
testings of their own idea of how a shot, what a shotgun projectile can be.
Oh,
It's
that's
kind
funny.
of interesting because they're always saying, okay, let's see what damage this does, and they check it out
That's funny.
in slow mo and all that. You get
Yeah.
all that rig. Shoot it through that gel, or what do you call it?
The
Ballistic gel.
ballistic gel. I cannot believe I had the hiccups.
What were you not drinking or drinking last?
Got coffee over here.
Hmm. I've been into a little too much coffee today. I've got some lemonade sitting over here by me right now.
Oh yeah. I drink a lot of water at work today, so I think I'm mostly good.
I saw something on YouTube I thought was really a cool idea for, you know, content. Of course, the big news on YouTube this past couple of days has been that Scott Adams died.
Oh yeah, I
And,
saw that.
it was the only thing on X, it seemed like to me, according to my algorithmic feed. And, you know, a lot of love for the guy, and I had a lot of love for the guy. But I have to admit, you'd think you'd be hanging with him on his last days. I gave up on it because, I'm there for
Yeah.
Scott Adams. I'm not there for a Zoom call with all his friends. And so
Oh
it's like,
yeah.
okay, okay, well, it's no longer Scott Adams' show, so there's no real guilt in not watching it. It's like, okay,
Well,
it's
you
gone.
didn't
He's
know
already
him.
gone.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean, you didn't
I don't
know him,
know him.
so you don't. I mean, not trying to be crass, but you don't owe him anything. You
No,
know.
no, you don't owe a guy
I mean, he's a
to
celebrity. Well, I
once
mean,
it changes what you tuned in for, you're off. You know,
I never
boy.
watched his thing. I never really cared for Scott Adams that much. I know that you're a big fan of his.
Well, yeah.
I never really enjoyed Dilbert that much. I mean,
hmm
compared to some of my favorite comic strips, Dilbert was not up there. It
hmm
was kind of funny, but and uh, Michelle and I kind of read some of the books because his character was an engineer type, or he was an
Right.
engineer or something. There's kind of that angle, but most of it kind of bounced off me. It was just too to me. It always seemed like he tried too hard, and
Uh huh.
I don't know what his. I know he said. Well, I know he said a lot of controversial stuff on his deal, and I supposedly, I don't know if it's true, but supposedly when he died, he wrote a letter or read something or something. He wrote something that was like, oh, I'm going to paraphrase it. It was basically like a letter to Jesus saying, I don't believe in you, but I'm going to hedge my bets. And
Yeah.
just in case you're real, it was very, very, I mean, I don't think he meant it snarky, but it just came off as very disingenuous.
Yeah.
And, he's like, well, you never proved yourself to me, but if I die and I wake up in heaven, I'll believe. I'm
Uh huh.
going, okay. Yeah, that's,
Yeah. No. No. He was definitely a guy that was right up until the last was a non-believer. He was more of a subscriber to the idea that we're all a simulation, but
mm,
he wove that into his own little nouveau Christianity beliefs. Actually, from what little I gathered toward the end there, he
yeah.
uh, he thought of Christianity as part of the simulation that he could perhaps weave that into being able to believe it. You know.
Well, anyway, I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't, I don't subscribe to the idea that if somebody, just because you don't agree with somebody, if they're dead, it's good. That's,
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, even the thing like in Minneapolis or whatever, it's sad that that woman got shot.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, do I think? Well, anyway, I mean, and that's what our hyper political era has led us to, where people are, putting themselves in dangerous situations. Anytime you contact law enforcement and you're just like, I'm not going to do what you tell me to do, you're in danger of getting
Oh
shot.
yeah, yeah, you are.
I don't care what your
You
skin
yeah,
color is, what your the
you're
and
going to
especially
encounter all kinds of levels of
yeah.
social adjustment whenever you tell somebody you're not doing something they want you to do.
And
That,
they
that,
got a
that-
gun,
and
and
they
they're
got a
law.
gun.
That's every interaction I've had with the police has gone fine, because I've always done what they've asked me to do, because that's part of the thing. I've never been in a situation where I felt like I would be right not to.
Hmm.
They never. And it's unfortunate that we've got that the situation has become like that, and it cost this woman her life, and who knows what the repercussions will be for this police officer and all these other people
Oh
and all the
yeah, it's
property.
awful.
It's
Yeah,
just it's just ridiculous all around.
yeah. You
But
kind of
where I
wish
was
the
going with that,
cop had kept his powder dry, but at the same time, they've been looking for this. They wanted this. They wanted that
well,
this event to occur
and from
because
what
this
I've
is
seen
a
on the body
catalyst
cam,
moment.
it looks like she hit him with the car. I heard he
Yeah.
was in he had to go to the hospital with internal
Hmm.
bleeding. So I don't know. I mean, I have firearms. I carry firearms, and if someone tried to run me over, I would shoot them.
Hmm.
I mean, that's So I mean, it's hard for me to fault him. I wasn't there, but the video I saw of the body cam looked like she hit him with the car.
Hmm.
So anyway, uh, I don't even know where I was going with this, but anyway, so I know where I was going. Anyway, you talk about Scott Adams, and I say I was never a big Scott Adams fan or a big Dilbert fan, but what I was a big fan of was The Far Side. And so
Hmm.
this year, so I've been buying Marvel calendars for the last couple of years, and I always get one of those one a day where you tear it off kind of things.
Hmm.
And I've had Marvel calendars for a long time, for the last several years, and last year was just so disappointing. It just the all the choices of is more modern art. I didn't care for it, and so this year I decided I'm not going to get me a Marvel. And I looked in the Marvel calendar this year, the same kind of thing, and I thought, "Oh, I don't want that." And so I got a Far Side calendar, and it's been hilarious. I even stuck one of them on my boss's desk, and I wrote on it, I thought you would. I saw this, and I thought you would appreciate the humor. And he's not
Hmm.
really a humorous guy. So,
Everybody loved the far side.
well, that's what I was telling somebody at work, millennial. I said, man, in the, I don't know, 80s, 90s, whatever that was, I mean, if you were lucky, you had Far Side, you had Calvin and Hobbes, and you had Bloom County, and just three just outstanding,
Hmm.
cartoon comic strips,
Back in the
and
day when the art form was viable. Yeah.
thriving, I think I would call it revitalized, maybe
Hmm.
in some ways. I don't know what they're doing now. My wife used to have the paper, but we don't get the paper because it's $600 a year.
Yeah, yeah. It's a dead medium, and that's the deal. When by the time Scott was Adams was canceled, it was like, okay, see ya. Who needs you? It's like
Yeah.
it was gone anyway. But of course, he still had, I mean, he still had to reach. It's still like having
Oh
your
yeah, and
your
this
your
stuff was.
YouTube channel canceled when you've got 1 million viewers. It's going to hurt.
Yeah. Oh, is that what happened to him?
He got canceled by saying, and I have a theory about this. During that period when he spoke out, that look, he was speaking out in reaction to an awful lot of these black on white beatdowns they were showing on X.
Oh
And,
yeah. Oh, and
and
he basically said we can't live together or something like that.
yeah, it says if people hate you and show you, demonstrate very clearly to you they hate you, don't live there. and that basically it is what he said, and that was pounced on because he is, after all, the enemy. He was a Trump early supporter. He tried to disavow it quite a few times, of like saying, "Well, now let's not call me a supporter." All that sort of, he tried to. Later, as he neared death, he became just a total supporter, but he didn't want to be called, just like a raw conservative in any way. He didn't think of himself that way. But anyway,
Yeah, but you can't be lukewarm in today's political climate. You
no,
know,
no, you're
it's
not
like,
allowed to be.
oh, if you're not with us, you're one of them.
Yep.
It's amazing how intolerant we've become as a society.
But no, I honestly have a theory about that period of time. I think X, or at that time it was Twitter, I think at that time it was mainly involved in psyops, and I think they were flooding the zone. And I don't know if it was the CIA or China or who, but I think they were flooding the zone with race hatred at that time.
Probably.
And
It's
I think he was a victim of it. I think he talks about being in control of your own mind and how we all had weak minds compared to his master hypnotist's mind.
oh yeah.
He always
But
was
you think
thinking
he fell for?
I
You
think
think he
he
fell
fell
for
for
it?
it
He
in a
might
way that
have.
he couldn't have hardly helped to fall for it. It was just,
There's a guy that you ought to listen to. I think you'd like him. He's on KTOK his show starts at 5 o'clock at night, and his name is Jesse Kelly. In fact, I think he does a podcast, and he was talking the other night about how um, groups. I don't know. I forget which groups he said. They're trying to change the Americans' minds about supporting ICE,
hmm
and so they're trying to sway that. And so what he says, what they're doing is they're buying, not advertising, but he said if you have a he said they're going after white married females, and he said, so he was saying your wife. He said, ask your wife if her, which I haven't done this with Michelle, but he said, ask your wife if her social media feed is filled with images of ICE people like pulling people out of cars and doing violent
hmm
things, because his thing is these people are spending billions of dollars to
Yes.
get Americans to not support, so they're showing them these egregious videos,
Well, anytime you show a cop interaction with civilians, basically you're showing a guy that has got the edge. So if you're kind of like a supporter of the underdog kind of guy, the underdog is always going to be the guy that doesn't have the gun,
yeah,
and it's like, and you're also the only way to approach what a nice guy's got to do. He's got to be the bloody Red Baron. He's got to have overwhelming numbers, and he's got to have all the advantages on his side, or he's being stupid. Because there's no other way to do it. If you can,
yeah. Oh,
if you if you
100%. Because
if you're on the attack, you've got to plot that out. Otherwise, you're just going to get mixed up and be in the hospital and all this. You've got to go. It's for the advantage of both of the parties that somebody win quickly and decisively with the engagement.
yeah,
And so
yeah,
that's going to look ugly to have one guy in the middle of four burly guys
yeah,
that are controlling your head and your arms and everything like that. You're going to look like you're being picked on because you are being picked on.
yeah. Whether you're whatever,
hmm Yeah, whether you're
yeah,
with the
Trende Aragra or
Trend
whatever.
Aragua or not. Yeah.
Yeah, it's well,
So yeah, they've got that advantage going in that they can portray it as just a nasty looking thing. It's like that when they had that guy on that horse with his extra reins that
Oh
were
yeah,
caught caught in motion,
he was whipping
whipping
them,
them.
whipping them
Yeah,
with a whip. It's like
yeah, yeah,
that's horse's reins.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Oh.
And it is so wild that you know they. I really, you know, I must have gone weeks and weeks without just the itch to see who had killed Ashley Babbitt. I wanted to know that so bad, but they kept it suppressed. And as a matter of fact, there was movement toward, you know, keeping it secret who had
Oh
killed
yeah.
Ashley Babbitt and all that. And
Who was the security or
yeah, yeah,
was the Secret Service?
he was in the
Capitol
Capitol,
Police.
yeah, Capitol Police.
Yeah.
And you know, when you saw him, and then when you read about him, and it's like, yeah, God, don't give this guy a gun. You know, and because he'd lost it at one time. He left it in the bathroom. You know, it's
He
like,
left his gun in the bathroom?
yes, he just had all kinds of bad history with like, and I imagine when that kind of like phony alarm washed through the whole system of that day of January 6th, he just was itching to get something done. You know, I mean, there's that kind of personality that says, you know, I've got to be the movie
This is
star in
my
this moment.
time.
Yeah, this is my time.
Yeah.
But Michael Bird, totally cleared. Everybody wanted to make it clear there was no crime here. And God, it was just
Oh,
a
is that
pot.
the
It was just a. It was a pot shot. It was like,
Yep.
you know, if you're not going to, you know, charge somebody with murder for that, forget charging somebody for murder with running at them with a car.
Or the
You know.
car, yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, we'll see. I mean, and again, I'm not going to claim to know enough about either situation to say,
Mm.
yeah, this is the right thing. I mean, because I've only seen. I mean, I don't know. I'm kind of the Ray Bradbury. I think it was Ray Bradbury that said, if you want to be. I saw him on the Larry King show. Said if you want to be happy. No, not Larry King. Tom Snyder.
Hmm.
And Ray Bradbury said, if you want to be happy, don't watch the news
Yep.
because
Yeah.
it's full of stuff you don't want to hear about happening to people you don't know.
Yep. Hmm.
And some people are really offended by that idea. But I mean, like our old pastor, he told us one time that he read like 4 newspapers and watched like 3 hours of news every day. And I thought, my God, who wants that much in your brain of,
Yeah.
well, his thing was, oh, I watch this, and this, so I get a balanced view. And it's like,
Well, helping with his sermons, I guess, maybe. I don't know.
it didn't.
It didn't, yeah. The final critique. It didn't.
Well, because anyway,
Yeah, yeah.
he had his own spin on some of this stuff that I didn't necessarily agree with sometimes. But that's neither here nor there.
Mm-hmm. I'm trying to get the old. I have a friend that I agreed to do. He said, "No rush, anytime." And you know what happens when you get that kind of like.
Yep.
I just
Nothing's
barely.
a rush till it's a rush. That's what I always say
Yeah.
at work. They'll tell me, "Oh, no rush on this." I said, "Nothing's a rush until it's a rush."
I have every now and then catch myself and say, "Oh, wait a second, I agreed to do something. I forgot about that."
Oh
You know.
gosh, so I'm on our church board. I'm the secretary. I got kind of roped into it. No one wanted to do it, and I was like, "We need somebody to take notes."
Hmm.
And so I agreed to it, and then I've regretted it ever since.
Oh
And
yeah.
we had a meeting in November, and I was sick, so I couldn't be there. But I listened on the phone, and then they're like, "You got notes for that, right?" I'm like, "Crap, I couldn't hear everything." But
Uh-huh.
Michelle took some notes, but I've had those notes sitting there. It's like, oh, I got to write those notes up. Finally got them done this week, and it's just when I get them done, it's just such a relief. It's like, oh, you know.
Well, you have to present it almost like a
No, no,
newsletter
no.
or something.
No. It's just the minutes for the next meeting.
Okay.
Everybody reads the minutes, and we talk about. It's just kind of a keep a record of what we talked about.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of actions that need to be taken about different things, and
Mm-hmm.
I kind of like this action I got going here, Ellis.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
This is the guy. So let me tell you the story. I don't know. Is
All
anybody
right,
on
go
the?
ahead.
Is anybody
You want me
watching?
to? Nobody is. I looked up every now and then. Nobody ever joined or anything.
Okay, I don't
I don't.
know.
I don't PR this or anything.
Sure. Well, I don't. I mean, it's just a thing
Don't
we
blame you.
do. I don't blame you. It sucks.
Yeah,
Anyway,
someone watches it every now and then. I notice
well,
I've got to get views.
I didn't know if Dan was watching. So, okay, so this guy in the costume can turn intangible. He's whatever, non-corporeal. And when he touches something, it tends to explode. He can make it explode. So he's coming at this cop, and the cop's shooting at him. And so he puts his hand in the cop's gun, and
Hmm.
then the gun explodes. And so this
Pretty
other
cool.
cop is calling for backup. So he puts his hand through the gas tank. The car explodes.
There we go.
Yeah, anyway. Uh, so then so this is the cop that was, so he's kind of come, I kind of was like, I wanted to look,
Pull it down a little bit.
oh, sorry.
Oh, well, you got it a little taped up there. I maximized you.
Oh,
Yeah,
there you
yeah.
go. So, so I'm gonna have the cars burnt because there's multiple police cars in this interaction, and I kind of was thinking of that scene from the Terminator 2 where he comes through the fire, the gas tank blows up and he comes through the fire or
Uh
whatever,
huh.
and he's coming to this guy, and then I kind of liked, and I kind of deviated. This is why I asked if Dan was here, because Dan didn't really write it this way. He's on the ground. Officer Two's on the ground trying to get away from the wreckage. Says he's red from the blast. Sections of his uniform are smoking. And then he's got another panel with the phase walking towards him. I combined those. And so, and he says he's reaching for his weapon. I I don't really have that. Maybe I should have his gun. Maybe I should have his gun like off here or something. Anyway, I combined the two because I thought it made more sense for him to be laying there and the guy walking up. Sometimes
Hmm.
Dan writes stuff where there's a panel or happens something and somebody else is in the next panel reacting to it. And
Hmm.
sometimes I like to combine them just for the pacing, to give
Hmm.
it. And I don't think we lost anything, so I combined them. So then FaZe is standing next to him as he's unable to move. I have him kind of lifting him up by his shirt, and then he's going to hoist him way up. And then it says he holds his hand out, which I don't really have. But then he's going to put his. He said from the officer's point of view, we see FaZe still holding the front of the officer's uniform. He brings his hand towards him. I think Dan intended for the hand to be coming towards you. I wanted to show the hand like a side shot of the hand going in his head.
Hmm.
More Dan wrote it from the standpoint of the actions getting ready to happen. I wanted to show it as his hand going, because we'd already seen two examples of it, stuff blown up and the hand goes into it. And then this panel is the close up of the guy, and you'll see blood splattered all over his face where his head explodes.
Cool.
Anyway, but I thought this sequence came out pretty good. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
not done, but where he's hoisting, I like him hoisting the guy up and then holding him up above his head, you know. I kind of got a little angled panel in there. And
As a matter of fact, I'm thinking you should make
nope,
the
not listening to
strip
any of your
just
advice.
make the
Do
strip
what?
just about the phase. Forget the Black Cricket. Let's do the
Oh
phase
no, just
comic
do the
book.
face. Issue 70 of Yeet, which has Black Cricket #1 in it, is coming out soon.
Oh,
So,
excellent, excellent. That's
so
going to be kind of cool. At least you'll have it. You'll feel like it's been published.
yes,
Cool.
Yeet is kind of a weird thing because they don't go through Diamond. You have to subscribe, but yeah, it's still a thing.
Yep. Hey, Scott, it's 8 o'clock. We started a little late, but I guess 8 o'clock we could, for our own timelines, we probably start thinking about quitting, don't we?
Yep, yep, that sounds good.
Yeah, I think you
I
probably
got a lot
worked
done
enough.
tonight.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you really whipped it out there. Pretty good.
Yeah.
Excellent. I like that foreshortening there on the hand that's most outstretched there on the cop. That's pretty
I
cool.
was
You took on
reading
a lot of foreshortening there on that shot.
I was reading when so I got home I got off work early and so I was reading this How to Draw Superheroes by Rich Buckler.
How about that? Look at that
And
little volume of it. Hmm.
well, this is and it's a library copy, so they bound it in hardcover. It's actually a
Cool.
paperback. And
What a
yeah, this is
nice way to preserve it. Yeah.
yeah. So it was a library copy, but I was reading this
Hmm.
beforehand. Let's see. Where did I see that?
I could see something like that disappearing from the library pretty readily.
Yeah, it fit in your pocket.
Yeah, yeah.
All so let me read this what Rich Buckler wrote, which love him or hate him, Rich Buckler was very popular at a time in Marvel Comics history.
Hmm. Hmm.
All drawings contain foreshortening. Without it, your drawing will look flat and unconvincing. Flying figures are always challenging because the dynamic use of foreshortening is a must.
Yes.
I had the idea that I want to copy some of this stuff from this book. Um, I mean, obviously, I've read it. What's funny is I've had part of this as a handout, and I cannot find it right now. But at work, a guy gave me a copy of this, and he said, "Oh, when I was in school, they gave us this," and I was like, "I wonder what this is from." And come to find out, it was from this book.
Hmm.
But it was a copy of these anatomy things,
Hmm.
you know.
That's pretty good. That'll work
Yeah, it's
for
kind
all
of
your superhero notes about
yeah, it's kind
stuff.
of a basic. I want to do a. I've been doing a lot of YouTube videos lately. I did one on the illusion of life
Oh, cool.
yesterday.
How many hits have you got thus far?
I don't know. I think overnight I got about 100, maybe 90, something like that.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad. And then I did one the other day on the Escape from New York board game. That didn't do very well.
Oh,
You
really?
know, yeah,
That seems like kind of the sort of thing that might take off and get viral. Uh,
yeah. I don't know. It's dude, it's so hard to figure.
oh yeah, it's impossible, I guess.
Yeah, I mean,
Otherwise, everybody'd do it. Yeah.
well, the big thing is you get the trick is to have a lot of content up. If you have a lot of
Yeah.
content, then people
Or
will watch.
or like that's what was funny about Scott Adams. He would tell you right up front what you were experiencing because he was such an analyst himself. He'd say, basically, people are lonely these days, and I am keeping you company. I am your companion,
Oh
etc.,
yeah, that's
etc. And he
funny.
had a very, he just had a very mellow, and he was always his attempts on every book he ever wrote was to be helpful and of use.
Oh yeah, I
He
read
was.
one of his books not long ago.
It was
I
like
forget what it was.
how to fail at everything and
That's the one I
still,
read.
yeah,
That's the
yeah.
one I read.
That's probably considered his best book, I think. How to fail at everything and still come out a winner. I forget the
Still
exact
succeed
wording.
or something like
Yeah, yeah.
that. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, his cartooning just kind of bounced off. I
Oh, it
never read
bounced
it.
off me as a guy that is attracted to somebody that's a master renderer like a
Oh,
Walt Kelly or something like that. But then
right.
later on you realize drawing funny is totally different than drawing great and appealing stuff.
Well,
It's
it's funny you say that because so I've been trying to do more cartooning because I'm trying to add that to my
uh-huh.
repertoire, and it's hard. You wouldn't think it'd
Oh
be
yeah,
that
yeah, yeah,
hard,
yeah.
but I mean, anybody can draw something because you think, well, if I could draw people, I could draw a goofy looking person. Can you? Do they look good?
Yeah, that's the deal. If you tried to draw Charlie Brown, you'd have 10 things wrong with it. Right now,
Yeah,
your proportions would just be just a teenth off here, a teenth off there, and the appeal of it is that perfection of
right.
that character design that
Well,
he ultimately did.
and so I've been doing that. I checked for the library. I checked out. They have a DVD. It's like the Max Fleischer cartoon. What's it called? Adventures in Wonderland, something in Wonderland or something, but
Hmm.
it's all these Max Fleischer cartoons, which is a lot of ways different than Disney, but it's crazier than Disney.
Yeah. Hmm.
And so I've been
I got
copying some
those. I
stuff from
rented
that.
those too. Yeah,
Did
or
you
I got them
really?
on. Yeah, no, I got them on. They were actually on
There's
a
a
YouTube
YouTube,
channel.
yeah,
Yeah,
there is a
yeah.
YouTube channel that has a lot of them, but I checked the DVD out of the library, and I talked about that in my review of The Illusion of Life because The Illusion of Life has a chapter about appeal.
Hmm.
Just in passing, and
Hmm.
talked about how, oh yeah, one of the things from here is appeal, and you know,
Hmm.
but
And
yeah.
yeah, it's. Oh, I've got all the JPEGs. I'm ready to make a video if I'll ever do it instead of just sitting all day long doom scrolling. I've got to get myself into the habit of making videos again. Well, Scott, I guess we announced we were quitting, and now we've almost gone to an hour time spent at it. Okay,
Okay,
well, we'll end the stream.
okay, sounds good, Ellis. Thanks for watching, everybody.